Okay, so welcome back. Part 2 of episode 2 of The Female Beat. Obviously it's a new episode because I'm wearing a hat, which we mentioned last episode. This is my FolkTellers music hat. Thank you, Joseph. Love it.
It's gorgeous.
We filmed part 1 of this, and then we had to do a 20-minute business call with our partner, so now we're a little frazzled. It's okay. We're back. We're back.
We're here.
And we're ready to get into the meat of episode 2, which is female empowerment. So first, I think to kind of start it off, I kind of wanted to talk about our song, Proud to Be a Woman, which is currently, it's our theme song for this podcast. And I wrote it, I think it was like 2017, maybe? I don't remember. It was maybe 2016, 2017. And I wrote it, basically I had watched a women's march on Twitter, and I think there was a male figurehead who had said something in the political world. He had said something that made a lot of women very angry. And basically it made me really angry. And after he had said that, then the march kind of happened, and it was really inspiring for me to see all these women coming together and supporting each other. And so I wrote this song, Proud to Be a Woman, and I know that like when I talk about female empowerment and feminism, I can sometimes get a little bit too emotional and can go a little extreme, which is a huge part of the feminism movement. I think there's a lot of extreme parts to it, which is why a lot of it gets a bad name. But so for my song, I wanted to keep it as positive as possible.
That's awesome.
So like the chorus is I'm proud to be a woman, I'm proud to be me. And it's just basically about like, you know, there's a lot of hate, I guess, towards not hate, there's just a lot of misconceptions about what it is to be a woman. And I remember that there was this quote I found once where it was basically like, you know, asking a male, like, if you could be a woman, like say like you were born a woman, would that be okay? Would you want to ever be a woman? And they were like, no. Like,
well, I wouldn't want to be a man either.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody asked me that
They were
question.
like, I don't want to be a woman. And I was like, but I like being a woman. I love being a woman. I love being emotional. I love crying in the car when I drove here. This morning I drove.
Oh, yeah.
I drove to Jaunty's house and I was just crying because the whole earth that I was seeing on my drive was just so beautiful, and I was just like so in love. And I
love the route to my house.
I love seeing all the trees changing colors, and there was wildflowers, and I love that aspect of being a woman. And so basically my song was just saying like, hey, like I love being a woman. I don't want to change who I am. I love who I am. And then obviously the bridge of my song, which you can listen to the song on Spotify and Apple Music, the full song. The bridge gets a little bit political in a way. It kind of talks about numerous things that I have to deal with as a woman. But then it ends with still a very positive note. And I think like this song, I think it just really represents Death by Lipstick, your company, and our partnership together, because I'd written numerous songs and I didn't even really think that the song was that good. And then I showed it to Jaunty, and she was like, we're gonna release that song like now. Like that song's amazing, we have to release it. And I'm like, sweet. And so I just think it really represents who we are in terms of us as women and how we feel towards each other and ourselves. And it was kind of like the first kind of step that I took in terms of being empowered and wanting to empower other women. And so with that, I think we will start in terms of the definition of what do you think women empowerment is? What is it?
Well, I was going to use a definition on my computer, but I actually I saw this really amazing speech on YouTube from Oprah Winfrey, and I have a lot of respect for Oprah and a lot of things that she's done, And she said a couple things that I'm going to share because I thought it was how she sees women empowerment, and it's really how I agree with her. I see it pretty much the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, and this was about 6 years ago. This was on a video that I saw that she did 6 years ago. She said that she read a book by a author named Gary Zukav, Seat of the Soul, which is a book that I probably should pick up because I'd like to read it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to see what it's all about. He defined what is the power, basically what is your power within, like your authentic self, the power, you know, your authentic you. And his definition in this book, his authentic power, meaning the kind of power that can never be taken from you, like your looks, your fame, your money,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. And he said it's when your personality comes to serve the energy of your soul. Mm-hmm. When you're able to align who you become in the world, what you have come to do in the world, your purpose, basically. And I thought, wow, you know, that really shook me. So it shook Oprah enough, you know, to mention it. And when I heard it, I was like, that's exactly how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're a child, you have dreams of what you're going to be when you grow up. And some of those dreams come true, some of them don't come true. But it's what you have inside of you that pushes you to be who you are going to be, who you're supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
in the world. Who do you know who you're going to serve in the world. Some people don't even know what that is. And for me, you know, women empowerment is really just knowing who you are and believing in yourself and believing that you can do anything and supporting others who feel the same. Mm-hmm. And uplifting other women and not just women in general, but just everyone, men too. Mm-hmm. Because men are in this as well. And for me, you know, I've had some issues, you know, as far as any kind of you know, gender bias, you know, in what I do in the music industry. But not a ton, but enough to make me
where it stands out.
Yeah, where it stands out.
You notice it.
And it's enough to push me to do better, to do more, to say, you know what, I don't care about all that, because I'm still gonna, you know, this is my dream. I want to do this not just for me, but for other people. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to help, you know, other women, other music entrepreneurs, other, you know, singer-songwriters, and just women-owned businesses, and just get that support, you know. So that's kind of how I see women empowerment, is just finding who you are as a person and serving other people and helping them rise and inspire them and educate them, you know, because by doing that, and sharing your experiences with other people will help them rise, you know. So and I'm not sure if that all makes sense.
No, it absolutely does, because I think I equate it almost to like self-love. Yeah, which is kind of like why you're saying like it's not just like a woman problem, it's a human problem.
It is a
like
human problem.
Loving yourself for exactly who you are.
Sure.
And I think that excuse me, like it's an ongoing process, and that's something that I've learned recently, because I'm 26 now, and I'm starting to see myself in the mirror changing than what I looked like when I was 18. And I think with self-love as well as women empowerment, female empowerment, just empowering yourself, it's a constant process, because every year you're going to be different.
Yeah.
And true. So like, I like how you said about that, about looks, about how, like, your looks they're going to change, they're going to fade, they're going to transform, and they're not going to be the same. And so when it comes to self-love, in terms of loving what you look like, you have to constantly work on that, because I could say, hey, I love the shape of my nose, and I've worked on that, and now I love the shape of my nose, and then next year I'm gonna get little crow's feet, and I'll have to learn to love the crow's feet on my, like, it's just a constant battle, constant, something to work on.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is with women empowerment, is just constantly learning about yourself and growing with yourself and being okay with that. And I think that in our society, like, it's more accepted for men to go through this process, and it's not as accepted for women, and that's what makes it so important, is that women who, I think that we're two very strong female people, and so I think that people who are confident in themselves, they have to be the ones to lift up other people, because no one's going to do it for them.
No, they're not. I mean, you have your select few friends or people that will be there to support you and uplift you. It's very important to keep those people around you, because when you do that, it just helps encourage others, encourage them. I mean, by you uplifting somebody else, you uplift yourself, and you uplift your spirits, and it's just helping other people. It makes you feel good, and it, that's kind of why I love what we do, because we're always there to try to help other people, and it's really what it's all about. I mean, you talk about legacy, for women, and we leave our legacy. Nobody really knows what our legacy is, except through, maybe somebody else might know what it is. Like, it's not really what we do, it's who we are and how we do it,
and how you influence others.
And how you influence others. And that's really what your legacy is. And if you have the opportunity to be able to do something like that for someone, that is
it's huge.
It is huge, and it's empowering. And that's what empowering is.
And I think, in my opinion, a big definition of women empowerment is respect. And that's, like, I say the line in my song, Proud to Be a Woman, everybody wants to be respected. Everybody. Black, white, male, female, everybody wants to be respected. And I feel like there is a huge lack of respect in our modern society, and that is kind of what I think women empowerment is at its core. And I think we talked about this earlier, about feeling equal towards, your male counterparts. And I think, in my opinion, being seen as an equal is being respected. And I see it a lot in the music industry, just because of numerous men that I've met in my own career who are also musicians in the music industry, and feeling that lack of respect as one artist to another, simply because I'm a female, and maybe I play my guitar and I write songs about love, and something that I've dealt with myself is that I'm very similar to Taylor Swift, and it's something that's like,
I know you hate saying that.
I know,
but it's true.
It's been with me for years, because when I started writing songs, I was 15. I played guitar, and the first song I really wrote that I liked, was about Romeo and Juliet, and obviously I wasn't trying to copy Taylor Swift, okay? I was a freshman in high school, and I read Romeo and Juliet in school, and I felt inspired, but obviously Taylor Swift has her own Romeo and Juliet song, so either way, I've always been compared to Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift gets a lot of crap for being a female artist, and she's obviously huge. She's obviously done so many, groundbreaking things in the music industry, And yet I was talking to one of my very good male friends the other day who doesn't like Taylor Swift, and he's very open about not liking Taylor Swift and doesn't respect Taylor Swift. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I think that so many men, especially in my experience, don't like Taylor Swift simply because she's a woman and she's good at what she does. Because like she writes songs about,
she's laughing all the way to the bank.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like there was who was, oh my god, the lead singer, guitarist, some guy in the band The Gorillaz. He's in an article where he talks about how he thinks that Taylor Swift sucks. And it was all over Twitter, and like it's just, I don't know why it's a thing. I don't know why.
Still good promotion, whether he likes her or not. Her name's out there. That's all you need.
But like she's won numerous awards, and this is something that I was going to bring up later, but since we're already on the topic, I'll just bring it up. But there's a quote by Taylor Swift, I'm going to paraphrase, but where she talks about how she is constantly dogged for writing songs about her relationships, about breakups, about boys, about being in love. And she talks about how Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, numerous other male pop singers write songs or have songs written for them about relationships and breakups and love, and they're not ever dogged on for that just because they're men, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a very strange industry. Any industry right now is I think the ones that are different, maybe like teachers, because women are the majority of teachers, but a lot of industries you have to deal with that respect and trying to earn that respect. And that's how I see women empowerment, is just trying to be respected by the other gender.
That's so awesome. Wow. And I love, and I have to tell you, I love that part about, the Bruno Mars and they can write about whatever and, no, they don't get no heat for it. Right. I mean, I think on my side of things, Madonna's always been one of my heroes. I love so many things about Madonna, and I'm just so proud of, she's here. She's a Michigander. I've loved her for years. She's 37 years in music. I remember Madonna saying back in the 80s, she said that back in the 80s, she got a bunch of crap for some of the stuff that she was doing, some of the songs that she wrote, and some of the stuff she was doing in the concert. And it was just, everybody was like, oh my God, how could she do that? But nobody was really saying anything about Prince wearing nothing on stage or, because, and Prince, she's like, well, Prince is doing it, how come I can't do it? So Prince was running around with bikini underwear, and why can't she, because she's a woman. Yeah. So, she's been having that kind of, lashback for years, and still to this day, and she's pretty much paved the way for women in music, in the music industry, and a lot of women are doing, Lady Gaga's here. She's paved the way for people, women like Lady Gaga, and it's just, she's the queen of pop, in my opinion. She's really the true queen. She's dealt with a lot of BS, and I give her kudos for just, for her, the empowerment part is that she's still here. She's sticking around. She's still, no matter what anybody says, she's still being Madonna, and she's proving she belongs here. And that's, being a woman in the industry, you have, the longevity of your career is important. And don't be a wash-up, take pride in what you're doing. And
I think, like, men and women both in the music industry, especially back in the day, maybe like 90s, early 2000s for sure, they were changed. The industry changed who they were to fit a certain mold that would sell. And again, that's men and women both. And I think I love Madonna because Madonna was like, this is what I want to be. and I'm gonna stick to that. And I think a lot of people were like, that's not gonna work. Like, no, that's not gonna sell. And she's
Right.
like, I know who I am. I know what I like, and I think it will work. And it freaking did.
It did.
And I like that a lot because I think that
Stay true to her.
What I love about the women empowerment feminism movement is the emphasis that women and men are very different in their own gender. That's what I mean. Like men, one male will be very different from the other male. You and I are very alike in a lot of ways, but we're also very different, and that's okay. You know, like women don't have to be Britney Spears in a scandalous outfit and a snake on her arm. She can be. A woman could also be Sarah Bareilles in a little turtleneck playing the piano. You know, like there's
you have to own who you are.
Yes, and be proud of that.
Right.
And not let people tell you what you should be, because that's how it should be, because no one knows what it should be.
There's no rules.
Only you know what you should be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've always said. There's no rules, especially not in the music industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And the minute that you think there are, you're in trouble, because you're gonna break them.
Yeah.
And women break the
glass ceiling.
The glass ceiling all the time. Yeah. So that's just what we do.